Now let us look into some questions containing the terms at least and definitely, which are being frequently asked in the recent exams. The statement is, no photo is frame, all frames are sides, some buckets are photos, and some sides are buckets. The conclusions are, no photo is side, at least some buckets are frames, some sides are definitely photos, definitely some frames are photos. Let us check whether these conclusions are true or false one by one. For this conclusion, no photo is side, we can consider the statements 1 and 2. We see that the common terms are aligned properly. When you combine an E statement with an O statement, the answer will be a O reverse statement. From this conclusion, some sides are not photos, we will not be able to arrive at the conclusion, no photo is side, and hence conclusion 1 is false. Now, let us consider the second conclusion, at least some buckets are frames. This conclusion contains the term at least, and as said earlier, we can simply ignore it and try to find whether the conclusion is true. For this, we will have to consider the second and fourth statement. The common terms are aligned. It is a combination of A and I. A plus I A plus I, we do not have a valid conclusion, and hence conclusion 2 is false. When some buckets are frames is false, then at least some buckets or frames is also going to be false. Now let us take the third conclusion, some sides are definitely photos. For this, we will consider the first two statements. This conclusion also contains the term definitely, which we can ignore. We'll have to now check whether some sides or photos is true or false. The common terms are aligned properly. When you combine an E statement with an O statement, you will get an O reverse statement, which is a negative statement, and that from that we will not be able to arrive a positive statement, and hence some sites are photos is not true, and hence some sites are definitely photos will also be false. Hence, the third conclusion is also false. Now let us check the fourth conclusion. Definitely, some frames or photos is the fourth conclusion. It is a immediate conclusion from statement 1. This conclusion also contains the term definitely, which we are going to ignore. No photo is frame is an E statement, a negative statement from which we will not be able to arrive at a positive conclusion or an I conclusion, and hence conclusion 4 is also false. When some frames or photos is false, then definitely some frames or photos is also going to be false. All statements being false, now we will have to check whether we have any complementary pair. For that, let us first check there are any statements with same subject and predicate. We see that conclusion 1 and 3 have the same terms, photos and site. We can rewrite the first conclusion as so both the conclusions have become false, both have the same subject and predicate, and they are of E and I type, and hence conclusion 1 or 3 are a complementary pair, that is either conclusion 1 or conclusion 3 follows will be the answer. And let us check the answer slide. The answer is option D, either 1 or 3 follows, and let us check the working slide. We have first dealt with conclusion 2, which is false. And we have taken conclusion 1 and 3 together, which are complementary pair. Conclusion 4, which is an immediate conclusion from statement 1, is also false, and hence the answer is option D, either conclusion 1 or conclusion 3 follows. Now let us go on to the next question.